Microsoft's shared responsibility model means Microsoft secures the cloud infrastructure, but not the data. You are responsible for protecting your data, identities, and applications. Backup Exec delivers robust protection for Microsoft 365 workloads, addressing the critical risk of data loss from accidental deletions, cyber threats, and compliance challenges. Let's review how to configure a backup for M365. To configure a backup of Microsoft 365, select Backup and Restore, highlight your Microsoft 365 tenant, select Backup in the ribbon bar, select Create Microsoft 365 Backup. On the left side, this is where we will select our users, our SharePoint sites, and our Teams channels. On the right-hand side, this is where we will configure our policy for the backup. We'll start with selecting our users. On the first tab, this is where we can select our individual users. So we'll go ahead and select a few users. And then we'll select what we would like to protect. On this screen, we can protect mailboxes, archive mailboxes, OneDrive, and user sites. So we'll select Mailbox, OneDrive, and User Sites. On the next tab, this is where you can configure your backups based on a group. So you can select all employees, you could select communications, you could select the various groups that are available in your organization. So we'll select communications. We can back up the group mailbox, the group files, and the group sites, but we could also protect those individual user mailboxes, OneDrive, and user sites for all the users that fall into that group. The next tab is our public folders tab. If you configured public folders when you added your tenant, this is where you would go to select your public folders. Next is our SharePoint sites. This is where we can select all of the SharePoint sites that we would like to protect. We'll go ahead and select all for this demo. This is our Teams tab. Here we can select channel post, team sites and private channel sites, settings, and channel tabs. We'll go ahead and select all on the left-hand side, and then we'll select all of our Teams channels on the right. Just a point of note, there is a cost to use the Microsoft Graph Export API. That cost is from Microsoft. For more information on the cost associated with protecting Microsoft Teams channel post using the Microsoft Graph Export API, please reference the tech note in the job configuration. We'll go ahead and click OK on our selections. We'll click Edit on the right side to configure our backup policy. The first thing that we will configure is our schedule. This job is created in what is known as a forever incremental. The first backup of your Microsoft tenant will be a full. Every backup that runs after that will be an incremental. Periodically, Backup Exec will take that original baseline full, all of the incrementals that run after that, and consolidate that into a new baseline full. This does not transfer any data across your network. All of this consolidation happens on your Backup Exec server. So your incremental is scheduled by default to run at 11 p.m., then every one day after that. Your consolidated full is by default scheduled to run every 7 days, and that happens on Fridays at 11 a.m. This can be configured to accommodate your requirements. Next, we will move on to storage. This is where you will set your storage location for your M365 backup. We'll select our deduplication folder. Here we can configure how long we would like to keep this backup for. By default, the incrementals are kept for 1 week. The consolidated fulls are kept for 2 weeks. However, this can be changed. You can change this to hour, day, week, and year. You also have the ability to configure compression, and you can also configure encryption for your job. Lastly, we'll take a look at Microsoft 365 settings. We have the ability to configure the number of streams that will be used during this backup. For more information on using and configuring the streams for the backup, it can be found in this tech note linked here. You have the ability to, for Exchange Online, retrieve folder associated items and retrieve items when message read property changes. For SharePoint Online, you can exclude system lists and exclude document libraries for users and group sites. For Teams, you have the ability to exclude system list, and you can also set the date range for when you would like to start protecting your Teams data. So we'll go ahead and click OK. And we'll go ahead and click OK again. This is a reminder about the cost that is associated with using the Microsoft Graph to Export API. So we'll click OK. We'll go to the Job Monitor tab, and we'll see that our job has been created to protect our Microsoft 365 environment. Thank you for watching. For more information or to download a free trial of Backup Exec, please visit arcterra.io/backup-exec.